Welcome to Talking Crew, an unofficial Motley Crue podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Humphrey, where I talk all things in the world of Motley Crue. This is episode 28 this week. VH1's Resurrecting Motley Crue documentary is what I'm going to be talking about this week. But first, this week in Motley news. John 5 and the Creatures tour continues on as we speak. In fact, he had some special guests backstage at the New York show. He had Kerry King of Slayer was there, Don Jamieson from That Rocks or That Metal show with Eddie Trunk, he was there, and ex-Kiss lead guitar player Ace Frehley was there, and I'm sure that tickled John 5 to death seeing Ace Frehley, him being a big Kiss fan. He's still on tour as we speak, so check out john5.com. I've seen some pictures and some videos of this tour. Absolutely amazing. John 5's out there rocking it out. That's awesome. On Saturday, Tommy Lee had hand surgery on his right hand. His third finger could not straighten out all the way, so they actually he had to have hand surgery to fix this problem. He actually posted the pictures on Instagram. A couple of them maybe about barf. but there's a little video at the very end of him twirling the drumstick. He had said that he hadn't been able to do twirling the drumstick on the stadium tour, so he got that fixed. So get well wishes and speedy recovery to Tommy Lee. Motley Crue announced on Wednesday they will headline Saturday, September the 28th, the Louder Than Life Festival in Louisville, Kentucky. They are headlining this. There's 4 shows, or 4 days, I should say, of this Louder Than Life Festival, and Motley Crue's headlining the September 28th show. Other acts on this show on this Saturday, I just jotted down some. Mastodon, Skillet, Chevelle, Disturbed, Seven Dust, plus more. There's a ton of bands on all 4 shows or 4 nights. Check it out. You can already get your tickets at louderthanlifefestival.com. That's all one word. So get your tickets. Go check it out. Nicky announced that he is selling 2 new signature bass guitars with new designs. One of them is a white bass guitar with this like worn out spot where your arm would be to strum it, and another one that is a skull and crossbones bass guitar. You can get them at Nicky6officialbass.com. They are a little bit pricey, but I think you get an autographed guitar. So I mean, how cool is that? I answered him back when he posted these pictures, and I told him that the Skull and Crossbones one looks like from the Girls tour in '87, and he liked my response. So that was awesome. It always makes me feel good when Nicky responds or even says something back to you. It makes me feel good. Alright, and that's it in Motley news. So this is episode 28, VH1's Resurrecting Motley Crue documentary. On this week's episode, I'm just going to continue on with the timeline. And this is a VH1 TV special that is a part of it. This comes after the Greatest Video Hits DVD, which was last week's episode. In case you missed it, episode 27. I absolutely love this documentary. It really takes you behind the scenes, kind of inside the eye of the storm that is Motley Crue. The band let VH1 cameras roll, and there were some hidden cameras as well rolling. So let's talk some info and facts on this documentary. The director for the documentary is Alex Castona, who's well known for VH1's Behind the Music and VH1 Legends. The cast for it has Jordan Berlant and Katie McNeil Diamond. who I mentioned in episode 26, the Motley Crue's Lewd, Crude, and Tattooed DVD. They were executive producers. They also worked for 10th Street Entertainment, which is the band's management, as well as band manager Alan Kovac is part of this as well, the band's manager, and of course the band members themselves, Nikki, Tommy, Vince, and Mick. When VH1 aired this, I can't really find a actual date that this was aired. All I can find is 2005. All I remember on a personal note is I remember the commercial for it. I did record it on VHS, which I still have today. And when I recorded it, I just watched it over and over and over again. Alright, so that's your info and facts on this documentary. So now let's talk about the documentary itself. It starts off, I'm not going to tell you every single thing that's said or done or any of that. I did find the documentary on YouTube. I will post it in the comment section down below. It's about 46 and a half minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Whoever posted it took away all the commercial breaks except for one commercial, and you'll find out why when you watch it. So here we go. I'm going to give you the gist of it. Okay, it starts off with a radio interview with Tommy being asked about a Motley Crue reunion. Then it starts beginning to tell the story of Motley Crue, so you kind of go rewind and come all the way forward. Band manager Alan Kovac talks about how promoters are wanting Motley Crue back. They want them back playing shows. It shows the band members doing different things at this point. Nikki Sixx is with Brides of Destruction. Tommy Lee is promoting the book Tommyland and his new solo album called Tommyland, which I will do an episode on way down the road. Plus, he's talking about Tommy Lee Goes to College, which I will do an episode on way down the road. It shows Vince doing solo shows. Mick, like I mentioned in last week's timeline, is MIA. He's missing in action. There's a hidden cameras by VH1 in a conference room for the band's first meeting since 2001 for Vince and Nikki. It's been longer since 1999 since Tommy and them talked. So it shows them talking. Nikki talks about him and Alan Kovac actually going to Mick's house and seeing Mick for the first time. And Nikki kind of mentions it in the meeting. Then it shows them in the studio recording new songs for the Red, White, and Crue album. It also shows Bob Rock. They talk about Mick being hooked on pain pills and that he needs a hip replacement. And, of course, they talk about his ankylosing spondylitis, or as Mick calls it, AS. Then they show a photo shoot, the very first Motley Crue photo shoot, and Vince, Nikki, and Tommy seeing Mick for the very first time. Mick talks about his health. Tommy's kind of hee-hawing over it. He doesn't really know if he wants to do this Motley Crue reunion. And so he kind of lays down some laws of stuff he will do and won't do. And then they do another photo shoot for Blender magazine, and Tommy no-shows. So you get the behind the scenes on that. Again, I won't tell you what's said or what happens. You just have to see it. Then it shows them talking about the new music video, If I Die Tomorrow. And then that's when it happens. You can tell the energy changes over this one music video. The band is back in all caps, back. Shows them doing press conferences, TV shows, the announcement of the Red, White, and Crue tour. Shows the very first show of the Red, White, and Crue tour in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Some backstage stuff, some really cool footage. Again, it's absolutely fantastic. Again, I love this this documentary. I think it's so freaking good. It never gets old. I watched it twice this week. Yeah, it's great. If you haven't seen it, check it out. So that's the documentary. Homework this week. Do you remember this? I sure do. Have you seen it before? Write me a comment down below. If you haven't seen it, again, I'll post it in the comment section so you to check it out. If you have seen it and kind of forgot about it, go back down memory lane. It's really great. And that's it for this week's episode. It's actually a short episode. Next week is episode 29. And I already kind of mentioned it during the documentary. We're going to talk about Motley Crue's Red, White, and Crue album review. That's episode 29. That's next Friday. If you know anybody that is a Motley Crue fan, send them this way. Hit that share button, copy the link, and send it to them. Tell them go on Google, Firefox, YouTube, Facebook. Type in Talking Crue. All the episodes will pop up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button yourself. Give me a thumbs up. That helps out the podcast a whole lot. And I want to thank all my viewers who viewed all of these episodes. I want to thank all my new subscribers. I want to thank all the people who's joined the Facebook page, Talking Crue. Do that as well. So there's 2 ways to join. And that's it for this week. I will see you guys next Friday. And you just took a ride on the wild side.